What's up guys, this is Massey. Welcome to another video. In this video I want to show you how to do long division of polynomials. The first example is 10x to the power of 7 minus 20x to the power of 3 plus 25x divided by 5x. So I'm going to write it like that. 10x to the power of 7 minus 20x to the power of 3 plus 25x divided by 5x. So 10x to the power of 7 divided by 5x is going to be 2x to the power of 6. When you multiply it, it's going to be 10 to the power of x to the power of 7. So subtract it, and then you bring the next number down, negative 20 x to the power of 3 divided by this guy is going to be negative 4x squared. You multiply it, it's going to be negative 20 x cubed. Subtract it, it's going to be 0. Then you bring the next number down, 25x divided by 5x is going to be 5. When you multiply it, it's going to be 25x. And then it's going to be equal to 0. That's the remainder. So the answer is going to be, the quotient is going to be 2x to the power of 6 minus 4x squared plus 5. Next one. We have 21 x to the power of 7 minus 6x to the power of 5 plus 15x to the power of 4 minus 3x squared divided by 3x squared. So 21x to the power of 7 divided by 3x squared is going to be 7x to the power of 5. When you multiply this 21x to the power of 7, subtract it is going to be 0. Next one, when you bring it down, negative 6x to the power of 5 divided by this guy is going to be negative 2x cubed. When you multiply it again, it's going to be negative 6x to the power of 5. It's going to be 0. You bring the next number down. Divided by 3x to the power of 2 will be 5x squared. Then when you multiply, it's going to be 15x to the power of 4. That's going to be 0. And you bring the last number, which is negative 3x squared. Negative 3x squared divided by 3x squared is going to be negative 1. When you multiply it, it's going to be negative 3x squared. When you subtract it, it's going to be 0. So the remainder is 0. And this one is the quotient. Let's see this example. 27x to the power of 10 minus 21x to the power of 9 minus 12x to the power of 7 minus 3x to the power of 4 divided by negative 3x to the power of 3. When you divide it, that's going to be negative 9x to the power of 7. When you multiply, it's going to be 27x to the power of 10. Subtract it. You bring the next number down. It's going to be plus 9x to the power of 6. When you multiply, it's going to be negative. Actually, that's 7. 7 times negative 3 is going to be negative 21x to the power of 9. Then you bring the next number down, negative 12x to the power of 7. Divided by negative 3x cubed is going to be 4x to the power of 4. When you multiply, it's going to be negative 12x to the power of 7. Then you bring the next number down, negative 3x to the power of 4, divided by negative 3x to the power of 3, which is going to be x. When you multiply, it's going to be negative 3x to the power of 4. That's going to make it 0, and here that's going to be the quotient. Let's see this example. 36x to the power of 8 y to the power of 9 minus 8x to the power of 6 y to the power of 7 plus 20x to the power of 2 y to the power of 3 divided by 4x squared y. 36x to the power of 8 y to the power of 9 divided by this one is going to be 9x to the power of 6 y to the power of 8. When you multiply it, you get the same number. It's going to be, when you subtract it, 0. You bring the next number down. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. X to the power of 6 divided by x to the power of 2 is going to be x to the power of 4 y to the power of 6. So when you multiply it, you must get the same number. When you subtract it, it's going to be 0. Then you bring the next number down, 20x squared y to the power of 3. Divided by this guy is going to be 5 y squared. times this one is going to be 20x squared y to the power of 3. That's going to be 0. So here, this one is going to be the quotient. Let's see this example. K squared plus 14k plus 38 divided by k plus 8. K squared divided by k is k. So k times k squared. K times 8 is going to be 8k. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. It's going to be 14k minus 8k, which is 6k. Then you need to bring the next number down, 38. Now 6k divided by k is going to be 6. 6 times k is going to be 6k. 6 times 8 is going to be 48. Then you subtract it. These two cancel out. And 38 minus 48 is going to be negative 10. Now let's see next example. N squared plus 5n plus 3 divided by n plus 6. N squared divided by n is n. N times n squared. N times 6, 6n. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. 5n minus 6n is going to be negative n. Negative n divided by n is going to be negative 1. Negative 1 times n, negative n. Negative 1 times 6, negative 6. When you cancel out, when you subtract it, these two cancel out. 0 minus negative 6 is going to be positive 6. We needed to bring this 3 down in here, so it's going to be 3 minus negative 6 is going to be positive 9. So positive 9 is going to be the remainder. This one is the quotient, and that's the final answer. Here in this example, we have x squared minus 74 divided by x minus 8. X squared divided by x is going to be x. X times x is going to be x squared. X times negative 8 is going to be negative 8x. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. Negative 74 minus negative 8x is going to be positive 8x minus 74. 8x divided by 8 is going to be plus 8. When you multiply, it's going to be 8x minus 64. Why minus 64? Because 8 times negative 8 is negative 64. So negative, these two cancel out. Negative 74 minus negative 64 is going to be plus. So it's going to be negative 10. Why? Because negative 74 plus 64 is going to be negative 10. So this one is the remainder and this one is the quotient. So we can say that x squared minus 74 divided by x minus 8 equals to x plus 8 minus 10 divided by x minus 8. Next example. 2p squared plus 7p minus 39 divided by 2p minus 7. 2p squared divided by 2p is going to be p. P times 2p, 2p squared. P times negative 7 is going to be negative 7p. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. 7p minus negative 7p is going to be positive 14p minus 39. Now 14p divided by 2p is going to be 7. 7 times 2p is going to be 14p. 7 times negative 7 is going to be negative 49. These two cancel out. Negative 39 plus 49, because 2 negative times negative is going to be positive. It's going to be positive 10. So the 10 is the remainder. P plus 7 is the quotient. So you can write it like that. 2p squared plus 7p minus 39 divided by 2p minus 7 equals to p plus 7 plus 10 divided by 2p minus 7. That's the final answer. Now let's see how to solve this one. M cubed minus 2m squared minus 14m minus 5 divided by m plus 3. m cubed divided by m is going to be m squared. M squared times m is going to be m cubed. M squared times 3 is going to be 3m squared. Then you need to subtract it. M cubed minus m cubed cancel out. Negative 2m squared minus negative 3 minus positive 3 actually is going to be negative. So negative 5m squared. Then you need to bring the next number down. Again, because we have two numbers here, we need to always have two numbers. Negative 5m squared divided by m will be negative 5m. When you multiply, it is negative 5m squared minus 15m. Then when you subtract it, these two cancel out. Negative 14m minus negative 15m is going to be positive 15m, which is going to be just m. Then you bring the next one down, m minus 5. M minus 5 divided by m divided by m is going to be plus 1. 1 times m plus 3 is going to be m minus m is going to be 0. Negative 5 minus 3 is going to be negative 8. That's the remainder. Now this one, a cubed minus 13a squared plus 40a plus 18 divided by a minus 7. A cubed divided by a is going to be a squared. A squared times a is going to be a cubed. A squared times negative 7 is going to be negative 7 squared. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. Negative 13 minus negative 7 is going to be negative 6a squared. Bring next one down, 40a. Negative 6a squared divided by a is going to be negative 6a. Then you multiply negative 6a times a, negative 6a squared. Negative 6a times negative 7 is going to be plus 42a. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. 40a minus 42a is going to be negative 2a. Then you bring the next number down, which is 18. So negative 2a divided by a is going to be negative 2. Negative 2 times a, negative 2a. Negative 2 times negative 7 is going to be plus 14. These two cancel out. 18 minus 14 is going to be 4. That's the remainder. Now in this example, we have x cubed minus 2x squared minus 6x minus 6 divided by x minus 3. X cubed divided by x is going to be x squared. X squared times x is going to be x cubed. X squared times negative 3, negative 3x squared. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. Negative 2 and positive 3 is going to be x squared minus 6x. X squared divided by x is going to be x. So x times x, x squared. X times negative 3, negative 3x. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. Negative 3x minus 6. So negative 3x divided by x is going to be negative 3. Negative 3 times x, negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is going to be positive 9. When you subtract it, you have negative 6 minus 9 is going to be negative 15. So that's the remainder. And here's the quotient. Next one, we have x squared plus 7x plus 12 divided by x plus 3. X squared divided by x is going to be x. X times x, x squared. X times 3 is going to be 3x. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. 7x minus 3x is going to be 4x plus 12. 4x divided by x is going to be 4. 4 times x, 4x. 4 times 3, 12. When you subtract it, that's going to be 0. So the answer is x plus 4. Now in this one, we have 2x to the power 4 plus 5x to the power 3 plus 5x squared plus 10x plus 8 divided by x plus 2. 2x4 divided by x is going to be 2x cubed. Times this one is going to be 2x4 plus 4x cubed. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. and we have x cubed. Then you bring this one down, 5x squared. X cubed divided by x is going to be x squared. X squared times x is going to be x cubed plus 2x squared. When you subtract it, these two cancel out, and we will have 3x squared. Then you bring this one down from here, because we need to have two terms all the time, because we have two terms here. 3x squared divided by x, we have 3x. 3x times x is going to be 3x squared. 3x times 2 is going to be 6x. Then again, we subtracted. These two cancel out. 10x minus 6x will be 4x. Next one down, which is 8. 4x divided by x is going to be 4. 4 times x, 4x. 4 times 2, 8. 4x plus 8 minus 4x plus 8. That's going to cancel out, and it's going to be 0. So that's the quotient to this question. Now here we have x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6 divided by x minus 2. X cubed divided by x, x squared. X squared times x, x cubed. X squared times negative 2, negative 2x squared. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. Negative 4 minus negative 2 is going to be negative 2x squared. And you bring this one down. Negative 2x squared divided by x, negative 2x. Negative 2x times x, negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times negative 2 is going to be plus 4x. When you subtract it, these two cancel out, and we have x minus 4x, which is going to be negative 3x. Then you bring the next number down, which is 6 here. Negative 3x divided by x will be negative 3. Negative 3 times x, negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 2 is going to be plus 6. When you subtract it, it's going to be 0. So this is the quotient. Next question. X cubed minus 4x, x plus 2. X cubed divided by x, x squared. X squared times x, x cubed. X squared times 2, 2x squared. When you subtract it, it's going to be 0. Negative 4x minus 2x squared. We cannot cancel out because this one is x squared, this one is x. So I'm going to write it as negative 2x squared minus 4x. I prefer to have the largest exponent in front. Now, negative 2x squared divided by x will be negative 2x. Negative 2x times x, negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times 2, negative 4x. When you subtract it, that's going to be 0. So we can say x cubed minus 4x divided by x plus 2 will be x squared minus 2x. Or you can say x cubed minus 4x equals to x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x. This example, we have negative 2x squared, but we need to write x cubed first, minus 75 divided by x minus 5. Why? Because we always need to write the largest exponent first. X cubed divided by x is going to be x squared. X squared times x, x cubed. X squared times negative 5, negative 5x squared. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. Negative 2x squared minus negative 5 is going to be positive 3x squared minus 75. Then 3x squared divided by x will be plus 3x. 3x times x is going to be 3x squared. 3x times negative 5, negative 15x. When you subtract it, these two cancel out. And then we will have positive 15x minus 75. So 15x divided by x is going to be 15. 15 times x, 15x. 15 times negative 5, negative 75. That's going to be 0. So remainder is 0. And here we have x squared plus 3x plus 15. Next one, we have x cubed plus 1 divided by x plus 1. X cubed divided by x, x squared. X squared times x, x cubed. X squared times 1, x squared. When you subtract it, these two cancel out, and we will end up having negative x squared plus 1. Negative x squared divided by x is going to be negative x. Negative x times x, negative x squared. Negative x times 1, negative x. When you subtract it, these two cancel out, and we will have 1 minus negative x, which is 1 plus x. 1 plus x divided by 1 plus x is going to be just 1. So these two cancel out, it's going to be 0. So the answer is x squared minus x plus 1.